Okay, guys, so we'll start with Coach Harse, and then Jay and Coach Ridd will be here as well to answer any questions.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out on Sunday. I know you guys are heading out of here probably on Monday. And we talked about, you asked about us making a decision with Jay prior to the bowl game, which we said we would do. Today's that day. I think we obviously know what his situation is. There's a lot of speculation about what he's going to do. And Jay's had a great year, helped us get into the position that we're in right now. Excited about the bowl game and the opportunity to play in that game, and has been working extremely hard to help us prepare as we plan and get ready to head down there and go play. So, but today is not about that as much. We've answered those questions. Today is about Jay, and I'm going to turn it over to him. And you guys, he's going to make a statement here, and then any questions you guys have for him, Coach Riddle or myself, once he's done, we can answer those questions. So, with that, Jay, go ahead.
Thanks, Coach. Before I begin, I have a lot of important people to thank for helping me get to this point to be able to make this kind of decision. First off, I would like to thank God for continually blessing me and allowing me to be able to play this game that I love so much. Without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Dr. Custer, our school president, for having so much faith in our football team and continuing to fight for our respect every day. Mark Coyle, our athletic director who works tirelessly to keep Boise State in the national spotlight and puts the work in to benefit our best interests. I would like to thank the previous coaching staff that recruited me, specifically Coach Peterson, Coach Pease, and Coach Bonifa. These three men took a chance on me and gave me the opportunity of a lifetime to continue to play football at the next level. I thank Coach Pete for not giving up on me even though I made a mistake as a freshman and giving me a chance to prove I was worthy to be a Boise State Bronco. Coach B, who I still speak to all the time, helped me improve not only as a player, but as a man as well, and I'll always be grateful. I would like to thank this current coaching staff for not only coming in and taking the time to really get to know me and my teammates, but also helping to create relationships with us that will last a lifetime. Coach Harse and Coach Ridd, over this past year, you have helped me and motivated me to take my game to a whole nother level. You have challenged me to become more of a leader and brought a whole new mentality to our team that allowed us to accomplish our goal of bringing the first outright Mountain West championship to Boise State. The team and I were truly blessed to inherit the coaching staff that we have, and I truly believe that we have the best and most unified coaching staff in the nation. Thank you to our strength staff, Coach Pitt, Coach Marks, and Coach Pringle. You guys helped me to be able to handle the workload this year, and I appreciate the hard work you put into me and the team. I would like to thank our training staff, Mark, Kat, Paul, Seth, the student trainers, and specifically Spooner. Without y'all, it would have been impossible to have accomplished what I've done so far in my career here. I thank Dale and his staff for always being ready to help with any equipment needs. Dale is pretty awesome. My family, my backbone. It's because of you that I continue to strive to be the best I can be. My mom and dad, I love you two so very much, and without your support, I don't know if I could have made it this far. My little brothers and sisters, I love you all very much, and every time I step on the field, I play with all my heart for you. My teammates, I love you all. You guys are my brothers. We have accomplished so much. This season has been one of the greatest of my life, and I'll always cherish the moments that I've had with you. We strive to be kings of the Mountain West, and we achieved our goal. Football brought us together, but the relationships we were able to build will last a lifetime. Last but absolutely not least, I thank all of Bronco Nation and the great fans at Boise State. I've said it multiple times before, but I truly believe this is a special place. There is no other place I would have rather played my collegiate career at. The fans have been beyond amazing, and I appreciate the love and support that you not only have shown me, but for our football team as well each year. Now it is with full excitement to let everyone in all of Bronco Nation know that my decision is that I will be foregoing my final year of eligibility and entering the 2015 NFL Draft. after consulting with God, my family, and coaches, and taking into account of what I've been able to accomplish this year in my collegiate career and in my collegiate career. I truly believe after playing in the Fiesta Bowl on December 31st and hopefully winning, that I will have accomplished everything that I had set my mind to do when I stepped foot at Boise State, besides obtaining my degree, which I have promised my family to make sure that I complete in the future. Playing in the NFL has been my dream ever since I started playing football. So being this close to making that possible is just an opportunity too great to pass up. My family and I are truly excited for what the future holds, and Bronco Nation and Boise State will always have a special place in my heart. Thank you, and go Broncos. And now I'm going to open it up for any questions.
Jay, did you get the report back from the NFL, and if so, what did it say?
I have not gotten the report back, but I've had a lot of consultation with a lot of people, and I kind of have a generic feel of where I could possibly go in the NFL draft.
What did you need to hear to make you feel like this was the right time to do it, that you wouldn't be making a mistake by leaving early?
Really, it was just after consulting with Coach Rid and Coach Harsin, just looking back at what I've been able to do this year, for us to be able to win this Mountain West Conference Championship and bring it back to Boise State, and for me to have the season that I had, it was just amazing opportunity looking back at it and seeing where I am now, and just seeing how kind of the running backs also in the NFL, where their value is, and seeing where my value is right now. I didn't feel like it could have been any higher after the season.
We've seen for running backs, the career length is not really long. How much of a factor is that take that year of pounding at that level, getting paid for it, versus one more year here, taking that pounding?
Definitely. I mean, that was also a factor going into just deciding what my decision was just the workload, because like you said, running backs, the shelf lives are a little bit less than other positions. And so that was definitely a factor looking into what my decision was going to be.
I know you said you hadn't been thinking about this much during the season, but honestly, how much had you been thinking about this, and when did this really be something you figured was probably going to happen?
Well, at the beginning of the year, like I said, I was really just focused on just playing a great season. I didn't really know what would happen at that time. Kind of as the season progressed and I started to get a little bit of phone calls from different people, I started to just get a little feel that, hey, maybe this is a decision that I possibly could make at the end of the season. And then after winning the conference championship game and looking back at what I've been able to accomplish this year, it was kind of just a really good time to just sit down with my family and just really make a decision on what will be my next step in this process.
At the end of the Fiesta Bowl, do you have any idea what agency you're going to go with and where you're going to work out in preparation for the draft?
So basically with my family, and we've been discussing it, and I should have my agents selected prior to the Fiesta Bowl. And so after the Fiesta Bowl, I will sign with them, and then we should know with the agent where I'm going to train, and then it'll be just setting it up after that.
When did you actually make the decision? When was the final this is going to happen made?
Well, when did I make the decision? It would probably have been last week. Sitting down with my family, and then after speaking with Coach Harsin and Coach Rid, and just looking back at it and talking to God, and after that, it was a specific day. I believe it was Saturday, I think so. And after that day, I knew for sure that we were going to do it, and I was going to make the decision to declare.
Saturday is in yesterday, or Saturday is in 8 days ago?
Last week, so.
Okay. What was your process? Did your parents come up here? Did you talk to them on the phone? What was the decision-making process for you?
Well, I had been in constant contact with my family once the conference championship kind of came, and we were getting to the point where we needed to figure out, what was our plan going forward. And so my mom was able to come to a lot of the games, and we were able to sit down and talk as well a lot when she would come up. And just being able to speak with my dad as well and my mom together, we just constantly, talked each day, and they would just ask, how am I feeling? What do you think is going to be best? And we just talked to each other, and we really were able to come to a consensual decision between all of us at the end of the process.
What is your academic status, and what's your major, and what's your plan to finish that?
So I'm a marketing major. I will supposedly, if I would have stayed, been graduating in May. I have maybe 5 classes left, or 4 to 5 classes left, and so in the future, I believe Boise State has a good thing where you can come back after you leave, and you can still get your college and school paid for to finish. And so I told my mom that I'll definitely get my degree when the time permits it. And so, that will be something later on down the line that I'll make sure that I accomplish.
DeMarcus left early, obviously. Ryan Clady left early. Worked out well for them. Did you talk to either of those guys, or get any sort of input from guys like that?
Yeah, I talk to Tank all the time. He's a really good resource just because, he went through this last year. And he was able to have success with it. And so another person that I've talked to, even though they didn't leave early, was just Charles Leno and Jamar Taylor. Those 2 guys were kind of like my role models. But when I was playing here, and they're my big brothers, and they were able to just give me a lot of great advice just coming in up to this process. And they were just really just great resources for me.
What was the most important thing you heard from one of those guys?
They just told me to make sure that, I sat down and just really made sure that I made the right decision for myself and for my family. And that also they were really also helpful in the agent process as well, just telling me what to look for and just telling me just kind of things and the questions that I should be asking.
For either of you guys, I guess, how involved were the coaches involved in this decision? And did it seem like pretty much a no-brainer to you guys, or how'd you kind of work through this?
Well, yeah, there was no question, and obviously through our contacts with NFL guys, we knew he's going to get a decent draft grade when all that comes back, and he's done everything we've asked him to this year, and helped us reach our goals as a team. So it really did seem like the only right answer to give him was to tell him that, hey, that it is the best thing for you.
Of course, you've been through this with Clady, with Scandrick, with Childs. What was your take on this, and in general, what is your view of a guy in this situation, deciding whether to leave early?
Yeah, all those guys were different that you just mentioned. Ryan's, for example, we knew he'd be a first-round guy. That was easy. There really wasn't a conversation. And here's the thing in football. Any of us that's played the game and love the game want to have an opportunity to play at the next level and to do it as a career. And not everybody gets that opportunity. Jay's a guy that's got the ability to do that. He's proven that. Where he goes, I don't know, but there's no doubt in my mind, as an NFL running back, he's going to be successful. And he's got so many other tools, in my opinion, that he brings, and hopefully I think he brings a knowledge of the game that coaches are going to appreciate when he steps on their practice field and he goes out there and gets going. He's going to understand those things. But I think I think, and what I told Jay, I think he's had a wonderful year. I think he's done a lot of great things for us. He's made us better. We've helped him improve. We've accomplished goals up to this point that we want to. We both want to finish in the Fiesta Bowl, hopefully winning, like he mentioned. But this is the right time, and this is the time for him. He has carried the ball and done a lot of things this season, and where we are right now and the group of guys around him, it's the right time. And so I think when he came in my office, he might have thought differently. And we sat down and was like, no, this is the right thing for you to do. And he's got a plan to get his degree, which is why he came here, and we'll make sure that we find a way to help him do that once time permits. But this is a goal and a dream of a lot of guys that play this game. When you're a little guy growing up, you want to have a chance, and here we are. And he's put himself on a stage this season to earn that opportunity, and people are interested in him and want him to be a part of their organization. Then you know what? Hey, this is part of his future, and whatever it is. In these guys' future when they leave, we want it to be better, than it is here. And this is an opportunity for him to go on and further himself and be better. And that's the whole point of going to school and being part of this program, is you leave and you get opportunities, and this happens to be football, and what a great opportunity for him.
You mentioned the press conference last week. You wanted to make it public, before. Yep. Just, I guess, talk through that decision. And then also, Jay, how does it feel to have it out there now before this last game?
Yeah, well, when we talked about it, because, you know, when we get down there, and obviously there's